Hello. My name is Quatechia and you are watching Quatechia Creates. Today I'm going to show you how I create a set of these beautiful wine glasses, and I blinged out this wine bottle. If that sounds like something you're interested in, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So first we're getting started with our clean stemless wine glass, and we're going to use some of this black electrical tape because the electrical tape creates more crisp lines, and we're just going to create that outline for our glitter design. Now do be warned that you will adjust your tape several times before you get it exactly how you want it. So don't be fooled by the YouTube tutorials. It is not that easy. There will be trial and error. Just keep with it. You'll figure it out. My goal is to have my top V, is it a V? I guess kind of like a A. My goal is to have the bottom V lined up with the back like A situation. So it took me about 10 minutes of playing with this tape to get it to the position that I like, and now we can get to the fun part, which is the glittering. So we're going to get to applying our Mod Podge on that exposed area below our electrical tape. And I know I'm out of frame. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was out of frame. So anywho, we're just, applying the Mod Podge all over, and we are going to get as little streaks in it as possible. You don't want it super clumpy, because then what's going to happen is you're going to have clumpy glitter. So we're going to get it as smooth as possible, and then we are simply going to apply our glitter. The glitter that I am using right here is a color that I got from Peachy Olive Glitters. Don't know the name, but I'll leave it in the description box. So after we finish with this first coat of glitter, we are going to let it dry for about 2 hours. Then we're going to go in with a hard bristle brush, and we are going to knock off all of the loose glitter that is still present on the tumbler. We do this to avoid the glitter movement and clumping of glitter when we go to apply our Mod Podge and our glitter for our second coat. And y'all, don't be scared. I used to be scared. I used to be scared back in the day also, but it's just going to save you a lot of headache in redoing your project. Just get in there, knock off all that excess glitter, so when you go to apply your second coat of Mod Podge, you don't have to worry about, all those clumps and bumps, which is not cute. Now you will have to apply more Mod Podge on this layer, because this layer is not just on the surface of the glass. This layer is actually seeping through the glitter, and the glitter soaking up some of that Mod Podge. So just be, generous with it, but still you still want to make sure that you minimize the streaks. So smooth it all out before you go in with that next coat of glitter. Now on this second coat, I do suggest you follow along your tape line first, and then you get into the rest of the tumbler, because that's what's going to help us create those crisp lines. We don't want any like missing spots up by that tape, because that area is going to be kind of exposed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say that this step is optional. Okay, don't come for me. Don't say I don't need to do this. This is what I choose to do, so this is what I'm going to do. It's about an hour later, and I am going to come and wrap my tumbler in some parchment paper or wax paper. I don't know which one this is. I think it's wax paper. I don't think it really matters if you're not cooking with it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, you're going to take the paper and you're going to wrap it in, and I'm just trying to smooth my glitter down as much as I can. So what I'm also going to do is grab my burnisher tool. It's called something else. What is it called? Not burnisher. It's a brayer, y'all. So I'm going to grab my brayer, and I'm going to gently smooth down my glitter. So I'm rolling it back and forth to flatten my glitter as much as I can, but you're going to use, not so much force, because this is glass that, we're playing with. You know what, y'all, on second thought, I'm just gonna come out and say it. You should buy one of these. If you work with glitter on a regular, you need one of these in your lives. Whether you're working with epoxy-free tumblers or epoxy tumblers, you need to get you a brayer, because it just really helps with laying that glitter flat, which ultimately is going to lead to you having to use less coat. So whatever you choose to use for your top sealant, you're welcome, and I will leave a link down in the description box. After that, brush off the excess glitter. Now we're going to go in and we're going to remove this tape. This is like, the 1 hour-ish mark. I don't want the glue to get too hard around the tape. So that's why I'm removing it now. And try to keep your hand pretty close to where you're actually taking the tape off. You don't want your hand to go too far because you're going to risk pulling up your glitter along with your tape. Now after my Mod Podge was completely dry, I'm gonna go in and brush off the excess glitter one more time. And now we're gonna go in and lay our electrical tape, but this time we are going to leave a little space between the electrical tape and the glitter. We want to leave a little space so that our top coat can have something to adhere to and to completely seal in our glitter, if that makes sense. Once you are done laying down your tape all along that glitter, we're going to come in with our Mod Podge. We're using the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I'll leave a link down in the description box. And I'm going to pour this into one of those little cup thingies with the little lid. I have no words right now, so I can't think of what it's called. But yeah, I'm doing that to basically decrease the risk of contamination to my bottle of Mod Podge. I don't want to get any glitter in there, so I'm gonna put a little bit in this little cup, and then we're gonna use this brush to brush on the Mod Podge onto our glitter. Now the dishwasher safe Mod Podge is a little thinner than the other Mod Podges that I've worked with, so just keep that in mind when you're brushing it on. Don't brush it on too thick, don't put too much on there, and you want to get it all smooth. Then you want to allow it to dry for about 2 hours, and then you can go in with a second coat. I ended up doing a total of 3 coats, so 2 more after this one, and then I was ready to move on to the next step. So now I'm going to clean the glass one more time using some 60% isopropyl alcohol and a coffee filter. I'm just going to clean this area so that I can apply my vinyl decals. I've already added my transfer tape to my vinyl decal, and I'm going to put this big old K right down in the middle of the wine glass. And I like to start in the middle and then just smooth out the rest of the decal. Now sometimes when you're working with larger decals and a round surface, it's difficult to lay down your decal. So what you can do is just create some additional cuts within your transfer tape that allows you that flexibility to lay your vinyl decal down correctly. And after I get that larger K down, I'm going to come in with the first name and center it exactly how I want it, and then just remove the transfer tape. And I did cut these decals using my Cricut Maker and Design Space, and I did purchase it from Amazon, and I will leave a link in the description box. Now if you want, you can stop here, but I do not want to stop here, so I'm gonna add a little more bling to my wine glass, and we're gonna come in with some deep, I don't know how to say the name of this color, but it's like a burgundy red, a deep red. I think it matches perfectly with this wine glass and also the wine bottle that I plan on blinging. Okay, so after we clean off everything, I first cleaned off the wine glass. Again, I cleaned like around the edges where like some Mod Podge could have been, and just some oils, whatever. I want the surface clean. And then I went and I cleaned off my crystal katana with also with a coffee filter and and some alcohol. Now we're going in with our crystal glaze glue, and we're just going to drop some down, and then we are going to use our wax tip and just pick up our stones and just lay it on the glue. It's so easy. Like, I was so intimidated at first because I was like, how in the world, like, how do you pick up the stones? But it's really not that difficult, y'all. There's so many different tools, first of all, that you can use to bling things as far as like picking up your rhinestones. But this crystal katana, it has like a wax tip on it, and it just like kind of like, it just picks up the stones. Like, it sticks to it's a wax tip, and it just sticks to the stones, and you just simply lay it down. And this crystal glazed glue, which I think is amazing, it has a precision tip, so you don't have to like put it in any syringe or anything. It's just amazing. And no, I'm not getting paid to say this about any of this, but I love it. I really do. Now, what I have learned during the process of me blinging things is placement of your glue does matter, and the amount of glue you put down, that does matter. So you don't want to put, like, we're blinging along the edge, the glitter portion of this cup, you don't want to put the glue like too close down to it. You kind of want the glue like centered, like in the middle of the stone. So when you press down the stone, the glue is going to spread out some, and you want like the whole surface of the stone to be covered or at least secured, but you don't want a whole lot of overlapishness. You know what I'm talking about? Like ooziness from the glue, if that makes sense. And we're gonna take the rhinestones all around the entire wine glass. Oh, now ain't she cute? I just love it. And now you could stop here, but I'm not going to. So now this part is really easy. We're gonna bling like around the label of the wine bottle. This bottle is empty, but you can definitely still, bling a full bottle. It's easier to blink when it's empty, but if you're gonna be making it as a gift, then you are more than able to blink it as a full bottle. Fun fact, I started blinging the wine bottle before I started the wine glasses. So if you notice, I put a pretty heavy line of glue, heavy, like a thick line of glue, and as you can see, the glue is like oozing, and it also makes the rhinestones like slide more than if you put a thinner line of glue down. And this is what I'm talking about. You want to prevent this from happening. The bottle still turned out, fine, but just a side note, just don't put down too much glue so that it's oozing all over the sides. These stones not going anywhere, but you could potentially ruin your project by having too much dried up glue all over the place, you know what I'm saying? So because I used quite a bit of glue on this first line, I allowed it to dry for about 30 minutes, and then I went in and blinged the rest of the front label. Now once the front of the bottle is completely dry, you can go in and start the back of the label. I waited about 6 hours, and I'm sure that was more in relation to what I had going on that day. So I wasn't able to get to it until about 6 hours later. It doesn't take that long to dry. I can't remember offhand how long the bottle says that it takes the glue to dry, but for me, it was 6 hours later. Now, once I got finished with 3 of those sides in the back, I propped it up using this sorter tray and allowed it to dry for a couple of hours. And then I went in and completed the rest of the wine bottle. Put the glue down, put the rhinestones down, and that's it. And here she is, completed and in all her glory. And you guys, that is it for now. If you need more of me in your life, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and you can come join my Facebook community, glitter tumblers, and more. Until next time, bye bye.